Hi, this is a video on how to use the functionality of the map layer widget in order to control the map layers. So we can go ahead and dive in. So with everything here really hinges on these three little dots. And with these three little dots, in order to have more of the options, you do have to be drilled down to a final layer. So here we can go look at the sewer network, and you can see that now we have more of these options. So our first option is this zoom to, so that'll bring you exactly to where this layer is. So say I was working with other data and I'm over here, and I've turned on the sewer layer, which is the sewer layer only in Edinburgh at the moment. And so I'm not seeing it on my screen, and maybe I can't find it, and so I could go zoom to, and that'll take me directly to where that layer is. As another example, because that's quite a large area, a little bit hard to lose the whole sewer network in Edinburgh, but something like, say we were looking at this heat network in Midlothian, and again, we're in the area, so we can see it. But this one, it's not quite as big and obvious. And so again, if we're just anywhere else on the map, and then we click this zoom to, but again, if you're not on the individual layers, so this in development is still a group, you're not going to see that option. But if you go to the last of the layers within the little nest and go to zoom to, and that'll take you just to that little heat network. So one of the other elements, this transparency, so here you can adjust the transparency of any individual layer up and down. So as an example, if we want to say, see the Edinburgh heat network zones, so here we have the LHEs, but maybe we want to look at the businesses that are part of the Edinburgh Compact. And here we can see which ones are inside the zones and which ones are outside the zones. But here the zones are, while they're somewhat transparent, they could be more transparent. And so here we can again go to our layer. It has to be the all the way nested down layer. And if we click transparency, you'll get this little sliding scale. So you can see this layer isn't opaque. So even at the 0 level, that's because in its background settings, it was already set to be a little bit transparent. But if you want it to be more transparent, you can slide this up all the way until the point where it's gone. So say we want to leave that at 50% so that we can better see the businesses that are on the other side of these heat network zones. So that's transparency, and those are the main two things. Unfortunately, there used to be there still is a functionality called reorder for this map layer widget. The reason I've turned reorder off, but it might still come back in the future, is that Esri's made some kind of change in the background that causes the reorder widget to take a really long time to load. So it makes it so that the load time for the map goes from like 20 seconds to well past a minute. And at the moment, we consider it more important for the map to load rather than to have the reorder widget. So that's actually where the transparency, which you can set at the group level rather than needing to go down to the individual layer level. That's where transparency can be helpful, because at the moment we can't actually reorder the categories of the data layers. So with the reorder widget, if it comes back, you'll see these little boxes, these squares on the side, and you can click and drag the layers above each other. But again, at the moment we can't. So the other things that you can do though with this layer widget at the moment, so we can add something to the table. So you'll already have seen that in the other video. Export. So at the moment you have the option to export, except for I don't have any of the export options on for any of these individual layers. We'll slowly turn them on over time, but at the moment, if you click export, it doesn't do anything. You can also see the stats. So that's if you wanted to look into the details of that layer, as well as use this to, say, set a filter using some type of structured query language. So let's see. If we wanted to, say, add this to the table, you could come up with some kind of filter based on knowing what information is there. So trying to think of a category that these businesses could fit into. I don't know if the status has anything other than M, but you could do something like set the filter status is equal to M. There we go. And turn that filter on, and now it will filter this to show only the, if we turn that back on, so now it's going to show only the industries that are the status M, though this is a poor example because I don't know what that means for this particular layer. But while we're showing filters in this, we also have some preset filters over here. So you can see at the moment the preset filters are only for the non-domestic EPCs, but you can use the filters here on any of the layers by investigating what's in the table and what you might want to set a filter on. The last thing here, which we'll have a whole separate video on because it is that important to notice, is the details page for any of these layers. So this is where, you could have done that one, but the details page, this will take you to that item page for that layer that has the additional details, particularly around the credits and the citations for that layer. So the credits you will have seen upon the loading up of the map. That's what that citation page is showing. But there are the terms of use that give you additional details about if you wanted to use this layer for something, the terms that you need to conform to, which will be important when we turn on the ability to export from the map as well. In addition to those bits, you can see that there's the title here, summary, description, as well as information on when the map was last updated. So you can see that this one hasn't been since 2024. So yeah, that's the additional detail behind the item page here. And I think that's everything you need to know at the moment about the map layer widget. We'll update this video if we do turn that reorder function back on because it's super helpful if it doesn't cause the map to crash.